At guard, a 5'11" junior, number 3, Jordan Sutton.
Welcome inside the D Event Center, the site of the 2015 4A Boys State Championship Basketball Tournament. I'm Dusty Litzer. Thanks for joining us. And our matchup in the first round, the East Leopards and the Olympus Titans. Welcome, everybody. So glad to have you along with us in high school rewinds coverage on live.ksl.com, on desertnews.com, and anytime on Xfinity On Demand. We have a fun game. Two rivals being reunited here in the state tournament in Olympus and East. Let's first start with the East Leopards. They are led by Dacian Spotted Elk. Dacian is averaging over 16 points a game. He's had an outstanding year. He's going to need help today going against a high-powered Olympus Titan team who is led by Jake Lindsay. The young man is heading to Baylor. He's the son of Dennis Lindsay, the general manager of the Utah Jazz. He's had an outstanding year, averaging over 24 points a game. Last year, he was part of a team I thought was going to make a run in the 4A state tournament, maybe the state championship, but he broke his hand. This is his first year playing in the state tournament in Utah. We expect big things from Mr. Lindsay and the Olympus Titans. This is going to be a fun game with Olympus and East. We know our teams. A couple things to look out for when we come back. It'll be opening tip-off. You are watching High School Rewinds coverage on live.ksl.com, desertnews.com, and anytime on Xfinity On Demand.
Your officials for today's game, Bruce Allen, Russell Carter, and Scott Walmsley. We wish them our very best. Leopards fans, Titans fans, are you ready?
We're about set for the opening tip-off. Excited to bring you in on our stream. We'll have Monson jumping up against Mark Jackson. Jackson 7'2", Monson 6'7". A little bit of an advantage here for Jackson as he wins the opening tip and will be up the floor. Dacian Spotted Elk, we mentioned, averaging over 16 points a game. Now here with Jordan Sutton. Sutton straight away back to Spotted Elk. Lob into Jackson, and that ball stolen. Nice play, quickly ahead now with Jake Lindsay. Lindsay down the lane to the hole and lays it up and in. And Ole strikes first.
Jake Lindsay for the Titans.
Shot on the way, and that is good.
Number 23.
Now Dacian Spotted Elk and our two open players, open with the first two buckets. Down the floor, kick out in the corner with Nate Fox. And we'll reverse out up top with Miles Keller. Keller still working on the dribble. Normally don't see one player dribble that much in the Matt Barnes offense. Backing out is Nate Fox. Fox being hounded by Jordan Sutton. Drop it inside to Nick Wright. Wright kicks it back up top. Jumper on the way, lips out on Miles Keller. And down the floor now with Spotted Elk and the East Leopards. I want to welcome Sam Maxfield into our broadcast as well. Sam is a student at Highland, but also follows East a little bit. And he's enjoying us here in our coverage. Turnover, and we'll go with Olympus. Sam, your thoughts early on?
Well, this is going to be a very interesting matchup. The 2-3 seeds here today with East and Olympus. And the winner today plays the winner of Maple Mountain and Mountain Crest coming up in the following game.
Up top with Monson. Kicks out to Nate Fox. Drop it inside to Wright. Wright working on Jackson. Kicks out to Keller. Keller down the lane. Oh, swatted away by Jackson. He didn't use the rib to protect himself there. Jackson was waiting for it and spikes it. And down the floor now with Jordan Sutton.
Just an excellent defense right there. Mark just raises his hand up, blocks the shot away.
Dacian Spotted Elk into the lane. Terminates, he's going to fall away. Jay leaves it short. And the rebound tracked down by Monson, out of bounds off Monson. No, they're going to say off at East. That was Blake Hansen giving chase. 5:45 remaining in the opening quarter. The floor now with Lindsay. Of course, Olympus beat Orem handedly and then lost a coin toss. Gave them the 2 seed, seating them up with East. Lindsay got caught in the air, turned over. Jordan Sutton, pull up just outside the free throw line. It's off the mark. Spotted Elk loses the handle on the board. He was going for the putback. And then stolen. Outlet pass from Monson, take it away. Into Monson and count the bucket. The official said no on the floor. I'm not sure how he calls it on the floor. That should be a +1 for Blake Hansen, but it won't be. It should be in, and will be inbound along the baseline.
Yeah, it looked like he was going up right when he shot the shot. Bounced a couple times off the rim. Excellent shot by Blake Hansen, but East will get the ball back. Still tied at 2.
Hayden Bands to trigger in. Gets it in to Spotted Elk in the corner. Down the lane, Daisy Spotted Elk. Nice job making the adjustment. And it's now Spotted Elk 4, Olympus 2. In the lane, kick up top to Monson. Monson terminates on the angle, drop it inside to Wright. Wright working on Jackson. Up and under the big fella. They're going to get Jackson with the foul. It'll be 2 free throws coming away of Nick Wright.
Nice baseline move, takes Mark Jackson to the hole, and he will go to the line to shoot 2. That's the 6'6" senior Nick Wright.
Back rim on the first free throw. And Wright will have one more. And misses both free throws. And down the floor, it's East looking to extend their early lead with 4:45 remaining in the opening quarter. Spotted Elk looking inside to Jackson, kicks near side Sutton, now inside to Jackson. Big fella in the lane being hounded off the glass, no rebound. Up and off by Hansen. And Monson comes away with the board, hands off to Lindsay. Lindsay on the push. Lindsay down the lane to the rim, and it crawls off. Jackson outlets to Spotted Elk. And East will set up their offense. Spotted Elk for 3, and that's off the mark and rebound to Lindsay.
Interesting shot when you have kind of a semi-transition offense and you just pull up for 3 off balance. Not the ideal shot attempt that Coach Derek Lowe wants.
So inbound along the baseline. Wright and Keller will get a breather. Come on the floor now is Matt Lindsay. Lob into Jake Lindsay. Lindsay in the corner, and he's fouled by Hansen. And that will be the second team foul on the Leopards.
Foul charge to number 32, Blake Hansen of the Leopards.
Early going here, 4:02 remaining in the first quarter. A little sluggish to get started. Drop it in to Monson, slapped away by Hansen. On the run, Hansen give it up to Bands. Bands terminates, hanging on a pivot. Hands back, now work it up top of Sutton. Titan Faithful wanted to travel, but I thought he held his pivot foot. Out top with Hansen. Hands back, Sutton. Looking into Jackson. Cross court. Sutton had a look. Drops it now into Jackson. Big fella. Pirouette in the lane. Fall away. Jay is good. And Mark Jackson gets his first bucket. It is 6-2 in favor of the Leopards.
Nice move. Just turns around right in the middle of the lane. Puts it up. He's got the height advantage on everyone in this court, so he should be able to do some things in the post.
Lindsay makes the adjustment and swatted away by Jackson. Big fella now with 2 blocks.
Yeah, that's a couple early blocks. Jackson doing a nice job on the interior defense for East.
3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Works off the screen, kicks out Sutton, drop it into Jackson. Jackson power dribble in the lane, give it up on the backside. Elias Falk got caught in the air. He had nowhere to go but land on top of Ryan Hurlbert. You can only laugh because nothing happened.
Yeah, exactly. Just cartwheeled over him right there. That looked like some acrobatics or something.
Put a saddle on him.
Yeah, exactly.
Hayden Bands will trigger in for the Leopards. Still hanging on. Now kicks it up top to Sutton. Spotted Elk looking inside. He'll reverse out to Hansen. Now look back in. Nice job by Falk with denying the post entry. 3 on the way, off the mark, off the hands. And then tracked down by Spotted Elk. Spotted Elk down the lane, floated up off the back of the iron, and a rebound grabbed by Monson. On the move, quickly down the lane with Jake Lindsay. And Lindsay now with all 4 Olympus points.
Lindsay's so tough getting to the rim. He just gets there with ease as East turns it over. And they're trying to coach their glow, trying to keep things under control here.
Bounce, that was a little too hard of a pass for somebody so close. And it'll be inbound near side with the Titans. Lindsay triggers in. Kicks across to Monson. Monson pulls for 3. That's off the mark. Rebound grab by Spotted Elk. Oh, nice track down. Falk with the steal. Gives it up to Keller. Keller kicks out. Long range 2 from Falk off the mark. And a rebound claimed by Hurlbert.
Good steal that time. Elias Falk coming from the backside to take it away and give Olympus another shot.
Matt Lindsay knocks out of bounds. And now checking in is Dominique Cervantes.
In for Olympus, number 15, Dominic Cervantes.
1:47 remaining in the opening quarter. And a 2-point lead for the Leopards. The morning crowds always seem to be bigger than the night crowds as kids want to get out of school rather than during the day, and they don't want to be up here at night. Right, Maxfield?
Exactly. That's I completely understand that, as I am doing the same thing right now.
Out up top with Hayden Bands. Bands drops it inside. Spot Elk makes a move. They're going to get him with a travel before they put the ball on the floor. And turnover, and we'll go with Olympus.
Couple turnovers here stringing together for East. They really need to keep control. This is a very talented Olympus team that can go on solid runs. They need to keep it under control.
Lindsay kicks out to Matt Lindsay. Matt Lindsay for 3, can't get it to go. Rebound taken by Sutton. Sutton on the push. Hands off to Dacian Spotted Elk. Back to Sutton. Across to Hansen, now in the corner to Bands. Jackson getting a breather here to close out the first quarter. Spotted Elk on the dribble, kicks out Sutton in the corner. Now Hansen, and we'll reset the offense. 40 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. See if the Leopards elect to take the final shot of the quarter. Spotted Elk. Work straight away, now 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Remember, no shot clock in high school basketball, so they can take this thing all the way down. 20 seconds remaining. Spotted Elk now in the corner. Bands looks into Hurlbert. Drops it inside. Makes his move inside the paint, got around Miles Keller and gets the layup.
Went right around Miles Keller that time. It looked like he took a half step too slow or just got quite an advantage there on the inside.
Lindsay kicks out. Matt Lindsay doesn't get it off, and that's how the first quarter will end. And at the end of one quarter play, East Leopards 8, Olympus Titans 4. You are watching High School Rewind's coverage of the 2015 4A Boys State Championship Basketball Tournament on live.ksl.com, on DeseretNews.com, and anytime on Xfinity On Demand.
One of the goals of the Utah High School Activities Association, Raise the Bar Sportsmanship Program, is to develop initiatives that support the mission to teach, enforce, award, and model appropriate and ethical behavior. Team up with players and coaches to promote good sportsmanship, and remember, do rowdy right. When it comes to service, come to Les Schwab Tire Center. The stories you hear are true. You come in, they come running, ready and eager to serve you. Intense competition requires serious recovery, and chocolate milk has what it takes to help you recover and perform your best. Get tournament scores by following the UHSAA on Twitter at UHSAA Info. Second quarter possession arrow to Olympus.
Start of the second quarter with a 4-point lead for East and Olympus. Starts the possession. Jake Lindsay, long range 2. He now has all 6 Olympus points.
Jake Lindsay.
Down the floor now with the Leopards. Drop it inside to Mark Jackson. Big fella, standing at 7'2", has that ball slapped away by Lindsay, gets it back, jump hook, crawls up and in. Nice soft touch around the rim, and Jackson puts the lead back up to 4.
And a good job getting the ball back. He had it knocked away and was able to get it back and put the righty hook in.
3 on the way from Monson. And Isaac Monson buries the triple. And that is a staple of a Matt Barnes offense, is hitting the long ball. And it's 10-9. Dacian Spotted Elk can't get that shot to fall. Jake Lindsay with the board now on the push. Lindsay down the lane, has that ball slapped away by Bands and will stay here.
Good job by Hayden Bands knocking the ball away. It looked like Lindsay was going to go up for another layup already. He already has 6 points. Looking for more, the Baylor signee. Over 24 points per game he's averaging on the season.
A little bit of a delay here. I think we have some blood from Mark Jackson. A little bit of a delay. I think it was time to remind you, we'll have the high school rewind version of this game up as soon as we can. Take out all these delays. Jake Lindsay to trigger in. Gets it into Monson along the baseline. Monson gets Hurlburton off his feet and then gets the foul. And he'll go to line to shoot 2.
Excellent play by Isaac Monson, 6'7" junior. His brother Alec was one of the leaders of this team last year that took him pretty deep into the state tournament. And he will go to the line to shoot 2.
Got to the semifinals without Jake Lindsay on the floor. Remember, just before the state tournament, Jake Lindsay broke his hand. And I really thought Olympus was going to win the state championship a year ago.
Yeah, they had a really good chance. And speaking of injuries, this year, Jake Lindsay has been battling a hip injury, and he is coming back and looking very strong so far.
Keeping the press on. Olympus now takes 11-10 to lead. Quick up the floor now with Spot Elk. Coach Barnes wanted to double dribble and didn't get the call. Facing Spot Elk, the hands off the Bands. Bands back to Spot Elk on the angle. 3 on the way, blocked by Lindsay. Miles Keller with it now on the push. 6:25 remaining in the half. Look at the head now. Thought about 3 to Nate Fox, gives it up. Now inside, Monson. Swatted away by Jackson, that's number 3. Kick up top to Lindsay. Lindsay, he'll float it over Jackson. Too strong, the ball still loose. Jackson claims the loose ball and gets in the hands of Dacian Spotted Elk.
Another good block by Mark Jackson. The Olympus Titans driving in, thinking they have an open layup. No, goodbye.
Into Jackson, and the big fella
2 points, number 50, Mark Jackson.
throws it down, and it's 12-10. Leopards. Didn't know, say goes up, reached up.
Exactly.
Didn't go very
Doesn't
far.
even need to jump. He's so tall. He's definitely got that height advantage on the inside.
Lindsay for 3, that's off the mark, and rebound off the Spotted Elk, and we'll stay here.
Titans.
Had a few 7-footers
Jordan Sutton returning for Olympus, 32.
come through the state. Jackson looks to be very skilled for the East Leopards. He is a senior. Inbound into Nate Fox. Now straight away with Monson on the angle with Lindsay. 5:25 remaining in the first half. Lindsay gonna draws the foul. Thought maybe they call him with the off arm. Draws the foul, and it'll be Olympus ball on the baseline. That'll be the 4th team foul. Pardon me, already had up on the board. 3 team fouls on the Leopards.
Foul on number 12, Hayden Bands. His first, 4th Leopard team foul. Foul is charged to number 32.
A little bit of a delay. They switched the foul from Hayden Bands to Blake Hansen. Now Olympus has the ball, throwing it in.
Hansen knocks that ball out of bounds, and we'll do it again. Keller to trigger in. Lobs into Lindsay. Lindsay working on Hansen. Goes up and under, floated up, crawls off. Tracks down the board. And back on the attack, goes after Jackson. Jackson altered that shot. Loose ball down the hands of Sutton, now on the push.
Lindsay has had a couple open looks that he hasn't been able to convert on lately. And he's such an impressive player. Look for him to make some of those as we proceed in the game.
Jackson skip pass to Sutton. Up top now with Bands. Bands back to Sutton on the angle. Working around here near side of Bands. Spot Elk loses the handle, now on the push with Nate Fox. Spot Elk giving chase. Fox at the left hand, lays it up and in. Timeout, East. A 30-second timeout, 4.5 remaining in the first half. Olympus 13, East 12. I want to remind you to follow us on Twitter at HS Rewind. And you see our top 5 plays from yesterday. The 5A state tournament got underway in the first round. We had the top 5 plays from yesterday. We'll have the top 5 plays from today, and every day after that, we'll be shooting those out every night. And need to give a public shout out to Vince Francis, our producer slash director slash editor slash bus driver slash everything. So keep your eyes out for that as we'll send those out later tonight. Your thoughts as far, Sam?
Well, it's been a very up and down game. Fairly low scoring for these two teams, only 13-12. But it's been up and down the court, and both teams are getting looks. I expect both teams to capitalize more on some of these looks.
Hey, first day, a little bit of jitters. Yeah. Gym's a little bit bigger.
Exactly.
Olympus should be used to it a little bit, but there's still not a lot of depth behind the backboard in their new gym. And Easton is very close.
Yeah.
So it is a little bit different. When you have that depth, the hoop looks so close to you.
Exactly. Just a little bit different.
Still trying to get their bearings a bit. 3 from Bands. That's off the front of the iron. The rebound taken by Wright. In the hands now of Jake Lindsay. And a little bit forcing it, too. I think some of the issues Jake Lindsay's having is forcing it, but also Jackson is patrolling the paint. The big fellow's got a couple blocks already, and that alters shots and changes things. Wright tries to go up and under, can't get it to go. Rebound to Spotted Elk.
Another nice job by Mark Jackson, just altering that shot, making a very tough shot on the inside. And Olympus not been able to get very many easy shots on the inside.
Bands hands back to Spotted Elk. Spotted Elk working on the dribble, tries to leave it from behind to Jackson. Is picked off by Wright. Lindsay now in the front court. 3:35 now remaining in the half. Up top with Monson. Monson terminates out. Fox thought about 3, hangs on. Gives it up to Miles Keller. Keller's the second leading scorer on the team. Gives up Fox, wide open 3. And that goes in and out. Rebound tipped up by Jackson, can't get to it. Wright goes up and in.
Nice move, second chance opportunity for Olympus. And they are able to convert.
3-point lead for the Titans, their largest lead of the ball game. Quickly ahead now with Hansen. Give it up to Jackson. Jackson now to Spotted Elk. 3 minutes now remaining in the first half. Spotted Elk versus up top to Hansen. Now over to Bands. And they'll set up the offense for the Leopards. Jackson rifles that one into Sutton. Out to Bands for 3. Off the mark. And Miles Keller comes with the board off the Fox. Here's Jake Lindsay. Inside to Wright. Wright gets out to Keller. Now Monson, he'll pull for 3. Isaac Monson knocks down his second triple. He's got 6 points on 2 shots. Timeout taken by East, and it's a full timeout. We'll take it with them. 2:20 remaining in the half. Titans 18, Leopards 12. Full court pressure still on from the Titans. Hansen will break it on the dribble, give it up to Sutton. 6-point lead for Olympus out of the timeout. East has been able to control most of this first half, but the Titans starting to really get into their game a little bit, Sam.
Yeah, exactly. Last couple minutes, they've really been able to dominate, and Olympus really trying to get into that transition offense and get some fast break, easy opportunities.
I think the Leopards have really gone into that because they're taking long shots, and that's what really fuels that offense. 3 on the way from Spotted Elk. That's a nice set. Got him open in the corner, and Dacian Spotted Elk from downtown.
Great job on the offense. Runs cross-court around the screen, is able to catch and get an open look and hit for 3.
Nice find by Lindsay, and right now with 4 points. Want to correct, we have Monson with 8 points. And now 20-15 in favor of the Titans. Lob into Jackson, tipped up, and now taken by Monson. Who got to push now with Lindsay. Lindsay out to Fox for 3. Off the front of the iron, gets his own board. Give it up to Monson. Now in the corner to Keller, back to Monson. Fox again will pull for 3, and this time he got it. Nate Fox from downtown, he's got 5 points.
And he had a couple looks before that, and finally gets one to fall as Olympus keeps this full court pressure on.
Just trying to speed the Leopards up. They want them to take the half court. That's really in their favor. Spotted Elk down the lane to the hole, and he's fouled. They'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Good move, Dacian Spotted Elk. Drives in, gets the foul. The 6'4 junior, 16 points a game, almost 7 rebounds per game, and nearly 3 assists per game. And he will go to the line to shoot 2.
The first free throw up and good.
He really had a great January as you look at some of his stats, and the beginning of February also. He had 29 in a win over Cypress, 29 in a win over Judge, 27 in a win over Highland, as well as 24. So he's really had some very impressive games this season.
Dacian hits both free throws. Now has 9 points on the day. Up the floor now with Jake Lindsay, 40 seconds remaining in the half. Looks like the Titans are going to hold out for the final shot of the half. Lindsay cross court to Monson. Remember, Monson's just a junior. Hands back to Miles Keller. Keller also a junior for Coach Barnes, who just seems to keep churning out solid teams. Year after year, you know Olympus is going to be a factor.
Exactly. This team is actually very young. They only have, 3 seniors on this team. 4 seniors.
Turnover.
They look to continue on to next year in the future.
Down to 5 seconds remaining in the half. Dacian Spotted Elk. 2 seconds. 1 second. This will count if it goes, and that's off the mark. 2 quarters in the books. And it's the Olympus Titans 23 and the East Leopards 17. We'll step aside. Hope you enjoy the halftime. You're watching High School Rewind's coverage of the 2015 4A Boys State Championship Basketball Tournament on live.ksl.com, DeseretNews.com, and anytime on Xfinity On Demand. The East Leopards. Sam, your thoughts of the first half?
Well, for Olympus, it really started with Isaac Monson. He was able to come out, had 8 points for Olympus. And then on the other side for East, Dacian Spotted Elk led the Leopards with 9. It's been an up and down first half, and it's 23-17, Olympus 6-point lead as we start the second half.
Keller giving it up to Lindsay. Lindsay backs it out, working on Hansen down the baseline. Reverse it up, too strong. Again, Mark Jackson was coming over, tried to use the rim to protect himself, but couldn't get the reverse to finish. Spotted Elk on the baseline, poked out of bounds by Lindsay, and will stay here with the Leopards.
Good defense on the inside by Olympus on that fast break. Looked like Spotted Elk had a look, but they were able to close. Multiple guys getting in there and not be able to knock it out of bounds.
Into Dacian Spotted Elk. Working on Jake Lindsay, kicks up top to Hansen. Now to Bands. Bands hands back to Spotted Elk. Up top now, Bands over to Hansen. Now Sutton on the angle. Spotted Elk down the lane, floated up, thought he'd get the contact call, did not. And a rebound cleared and taken down the floor now with the Titans.
Looked like there was contact that time, but no foul called, and Olympus will have it coming the other way.
Wright gives it up to Keller on the angle. Keller hanging on a pivot, kicks it out to Fox, now working around to Lindsay. Hansen out, guarding Lindsay. Up and down first half for Jake. Off the glass there and scores. And now 8 points for Jake Lindsay.
That was a great take by Jake Lindsay, going with that left hand around a nice screen and takes it all the way in and finishes with the layup.
Spotted Elk drop it inside Jackson. And coming over and altering the shot was Jake Lindsay. Thought he was going to get the block on it. Quickly ahead now, here's Fox. Wide open three. Off the mark, tipped out by Monson and then taken by Hansen. He hands off the Spotted Elk. 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
You really see Olympus pushing the ball every single time down the court, and they're really stressing that transition offense.
Spotted Elk hands back to Hansen. Hansen will jump it from the free throw line and score it. First points of the game for Hansen. And cuts it down to a 6-point game. Lindsay gives it up to Keller. Straight away with Monson. Now in the angle with Fox. Here's Wright. Wright has that ball stripped away by Spotted Elk. And Spotted Elk had that one off his leg. Nice defense by Jake Lindsay. Spotted Elk thought it was a reach. Thought Lindsay got in there clean. And will go the other way with the Titans.
Great play by Jake Lindsay recovering. He steals the ball right back. It was a good steal by Dacian Spotted Elk, but Lindsay comes right back and the Titans get the ball up by 6.
Up the floor with Jake Lindsay. Titans nursing a 6-point lead, and that was too long of a bounce pass picked off by Sutton. Sutton will reverse out and set up the offense for the Leopards. On with Hansen, now hands off to Bands. Bands, I think they got to feed the big fella, but Wright did a nice job of denying him. He fronted him. They had the double coming from behind, and it was a foul. We'll see if it goes on Lindsay or if it goes on Wright. And it will go on Wright.
Wright doing a nice job not making it easy. That lob-in pass has been very difficult for East so far because Mark Jackson has a definite height advantage on everyone on this team. So, like, if they can just get it inside, he has the advantage, but good job by Wright.
And that ball goes off to Spot Elk on the inbound, and we'll go the other way with Olympus. 4:56 remaining in the third quarter. I want to remind you to follow us on Twitter at HS Rewind. We're tweeting out our top 5 plays of the day. Got 8 games today. We're in game 1 of 8. And we'll have the top 5 after all the action's done today. You can go follow us, go look on our Twitter right now and see the top 5 from the 5A tournament yesterday. Fox pulls for 3. That's off the mark, and a rebound taken by Jackson. Stolen away, and Lindsay thought that was a clean swat from Jackson, and to call it with below, but I don't know, Sam, I thought that was clean, but Jake Lindsay will go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, it looked like a clean block by Mark Jackson. He was able to put that big paw up and swat it away, but they called it on the body, so Lindsay will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws.
And the first is off the mark. First free throws of the day for Lindsay. And he splits the pair. Full court pressure back on from the Titans. Quickly ahead with Sutton. Give it up to Jackson. Jackson inside to Hansen. Left hand and good. Hansen with 4 points here in the third quarter. Lindsay goes right back at Jackson. Got over the top of the big fella but couldn't get it to fall. Rebound to Hansen. Quickly head now to Spotted Elk. Down the lane. Floated up. Off the back of the iron, and a rebound taken by Monson. Missed opportunity there for East.
Yeah, it looked like Spotted Elk had a nice look there on the inside, just was not able to convert. And there's been a few times like that where Spotted Elk has got some looks that he wanted, but has not been able to finish.
High post now to Monson. Monson kicks out to Lindsay. Thought about 3 and hangs on. Now works on the dribble. Goes at Jackson, and Jackson with another swat. His 4th of the ball game. Jackson now ahead to Spotted Elk. They have to cash in to make those things start to work.
You talk about a presence on the inside. Mark Jackson just putting that big hand up and blocking shots away.
Sutton couldn't get the 3 to fall. Hansen with the board. Kicks out to Jackson. They'll reset the offense. The Titan faithful begging Jackson to pull for 3. And now a steal on the inbound. Back down the floor with Jake Lindsay. Quickly ahead now to Monson. Monson will pull for 3. And that lips out. Tipped out and then taken by Hansen.
Another open look. Just got to start converting. This is huge. This is playoff time, man. This is do or die. Got to make those open shots.
Sutton up top with Benz. On the angle now with Spotted Elk, looking inside to Jackson, lobs in. Monson comes over, swats it away, tracks it down the corner, but he was out of bounds and will stay with the Leopards. 2:50 remaining in the third quarter. Hurlburton comes back in the game as Jackson will go take a seat. And now a chance for, if you're Olympus, you got to close out the third quarter without Jackson sitting in the middle. He's altering shots if he's not blocking them. You got to take advantage of it.
Exactly, and now you're even with the height matchups as Hansen hits a three in the corner. But now you're even with matchups, so look for Lindsay and Monson and some of those other guys to try to take it on the inside and score some easy baskets without Jackson in the game.
7 third quarter points from Hansen. It's now a 2-point ball game, 26-24. Miles Keller reverses up. Hounded by Benz. And now up top with Nate Fox. Fox hands off to Lindsay. Hansen right there with him. Lindsay off the screen of Monson. Will pull for three. That hits the front of the iron. That ball was on line, just a little bit short. And the rebound to Sutton. Sutton on the push. Quickly ahead now to Spotted Elk. Has that one slapped away by Falk. Spotted Elk now inside. Hurlburton blocked from behind by Falk. And they got Falk with the block.
Wow.
Or pardon me, with a foul. You had Jackson on one end a couple of plays ago, and now this one.
Looked so clean right there. Elias Falk, the 6'1 senior, comes flying in and knocks Ryan Hurlburt's shot away, but they, I guess they saw a foul. Guess they saw what we didn't.
And obviously we're sitting sky seats 40 feet away, but you get a pretty good look at it.
Yeah.
And Hurlburton splits the pair, and it's a 1-point game, 26-25. 1:55 remaining in the third quarter.
East has come out in this second half strong. They've gone back within one as Hansen steals the ball and Leopards have a fast break.
Other way with Spotted Elk. Left that ball short. I think he was stuck between going off glass or trying to float over the top. Always use the glass.
Yes, exactly.
That's why it's there. Dr. Naismith created the glass for the reason.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely a missed opportunity right there. If you're East and you're playing this talented team and this team that can go on runs and you have a run of your own, you got to capitalize on opportunities like that.
Absolutely, especially when they hand it to you.
Yeah.
Lindsay had that ball dribble off his leg, and you've got to cash that ball in. Right now, Olympus clinging to a 1-point lead. Lindsay down the floor, can extend it to three or make it a two-possession game with the three ball. And Lindsay going to draw the foul on the drive. That'll go against Stacey and Spotted Elk. That'll be his first foul and just the fourth team foul, or actually the third team foul the second half. Got to compliment these two teams. It's been a clean game. Not a lot of fouls in the first half or second half.
Yeah, very fun to watch.
Hansen, Mr. Third Quarter with the steal on the push. Hansen to the rack, and he'll get the block. He'll go to the line to shoot two. The foul will be charged. I believe that was Matt Lindsay. And it'll be two free throws for Hansen, who continues to tear it up in the third quarter.
Great sequence of events right there. Just stealing the ball on one end, going coast to coast, drawing the foul on the other end. Hansen looks to extend his 7-point third quarter as he makes the first.
Hansen has all of his points in the third quarter, now with 8 points, looking for number 9. And East takes the lead back. Had the lead throughout the first half, and now Hansen will get a breather.
Hansen's such a high-energy, hustle guy that can really make a difference for a team, really come in, create a spark. He's doing a great job defensively on Lindsay. That's a very tough task for any player.
Up the floor now with Falk, 1:20 remaining in the third quarter. Jackson back on the floor. Olympus unable to take advantage of the big fella out of the middle. Monson in the corner to Lindsay. Matt Lindsay drives the base. Give it up to Falk, and a kick ball by Jackson. And we'll stay here and inbound along the baseline. Lindsay into Monson. Monson up top with Fox. And now to Matt Lindsay. 1 minute remaining in the third quarter. Lindsay down the lane amongst the trees and can't get that one to fall. Went right at the big fella, couldn't get it to fall down. And back down the floor with the Leopards with 50 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Sutton straight away. Lob in to Jackson. And Jackson's foul. The big fella will go to the line. And the foul goes on Falk, and that is his second personal. And Jackson, soft touch, knocks down the first.
Jackson, the 7'2" senior, averaging over 15 points per game and over 7 rebounds per game, and he's really been dominant in some games. He has 3 25-point games this season.
And he hits the second. And he's made a difference in this one. 40 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Four blocks as well for Mark Jackson on the inside.
Lindsay off the screen, 30 seconds now. Lindsay in the lane, kicks out the Fox up top to Monson. Monson pulls for 3, and that goes in and out. A rebound taken by Jackson, slapped away, no foul. The foul goes on Falk, and that'll be the 15th foul on the Titans.
23 seconds to play in the quarter. East up 29-26 with the ball.
Third personal foul on Falk. He picked up 2 late here in the quarter. Here's Spotted Elk. Sutton ahead of Spotted Elk with 15 seconds. Into the corner, Hilberton. Hilberton terminates on the baseline, kicks up top to Sutton. Sutton, lob in, Jackson. Jackson with the left hand and in.
Great move, Mark Jackson. 4 seconds to play.
3 seconds. Fox gives up to Lindsay, 2 seconds. This will count if it goes off the backboard and in. If you think you're going to go put it a little too hard, just kiss it off the glass. And Lindsay gets the bucket as the horn sounds. And after 3 quarters, it's East 31, Olympus 28. You are watching High School Rewind's coverage of the 2015 4A Boys State Championship Basketball Tournament on live.ksl.com, on deseretnews.com, and anytime on Xfinity On Demand.
Possession belongs to Olympus. We've got 8 minutes. Somebody's going to advance into the quarterfinals. Will it be East? Will it be Olympus? Let's get loud in the crowd.
Start of the fourth quarter and a 3-point lead for the Leopards. Lindsay, an up and down game for one of the state's top players. Alec Monson for the tie, leaves it short. Rebound taken by Jackson. Spotted Elk hands it off. This is Hayden Bands on the angle now with Spotted Elk. Into Holberton. Jackson hit the deck, no call. Cervantes just stood over him, waiting for him to stand up and say, hey, want to keep bodying it up and down low.
Exactly.
Hanson, Spotted Elk, looking to lob into Jackson, and there's the lob. Outside, Bands for 3. That's off the back of the iron. Lindsay goes up tall to pull down that board. Lindsay on the push. Going coast to coast at Jackson. Can't get the finish, and Jackson pulls down the board.
Lindsay has not been able to finish very many times on that inside, and Mark Jackson creating a huge disturbance right there as a travel is called on Hurlburt. Looked like he took too many steps.
Hurlburt just got caught on the baseline. He's going to go up and kind of drug that pivot foot. 6:45 in the fourth quarter. 3-point lead for East. Lindsay, pull up Jay. And that's off the mark and rebound taken by Jackson. A lot of empty possessions for the Titans. 6.5 remaining.
Only 28 points thus far with just over 6 minutes remaining in the ball game. Olympus is a very high-scoring team. This is uncharacteristic.
What's interesting is not that it's been long possessions either. Both teams have missed a lot of shots.
Yeah, a lot of open looks, and you'd expect to fall have not fallen today.
Spotted Elk
like
in the lane. Off the miss, on the push now with Lindsay. Lindsay going 1-on-4. Goes at him, off the glass, can't get to go. Cervantes with the board, kicks out Miles Keller for 3. And Miles Keller picks the right time to have his first points of the game, buries the triple, and ties us up at 31. Ball off the hands of East, and Cervantes tracks it down, turnover. Back in the hands of Olympus, looking to take the lead. 5:45 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Here it comes. If you're East, you got to hold on right now. Olympus trying to make a push, trying to get up and win this game.
Lindsay back down the lane and is fouled by Hurlburt. And it'll be 2 free throws coming away of Jake Lindsay.
And just a moment ago, that was Miles Keller's first points of the game, and he averages over 12 a game. He's really been quiet tonight overall for the Titans.
Should mention a lot of these guys aren't used to having games at 9:30 in the morning. That could be a little bit to this too.
Yeah.
Lindsay at the line. He split his first pair. He missed the front end and has one more. Sutton will come back in. Jackson will get a breather so he can be ready for the close of this game. Lindsay, front rim the first, and buries the second. 32-31 Titans. Full court pressure still on from Olympus. Pass inside to Hansen. Ahead to Sutton. Sutton going right at Monson. Monson stood in there and waited for him, and there's the charge. Monson saw it coming. He stood on the tracks of the train coming down the line and took the charge.
Isaac Monson, great job getting back on defense. Just takes the charge right in the chest, and Jordan Sutton will pick up the foul, and it'll go back the other way.
You know, the advantage of playing these tournament games on college floors is that halo. It certainly helps. Lindsay couldn't get it to go, and the rebound taken by Hansen.
That's another missed opportunity for Lindsay.
Surprised by how many. He's had so many point-blank range.
Oh, yes. He's done a great job of getting to the hole, not a great job of finishing at the hole.
Up top to Hansen. Deemed him Mr. Third Quarter. Had 9 points in the third quarter. Hurlburt tries to drop it inside, out of bounds off of Keller, and will stay here. I want to remind you at the close of the game, we're going to select our Nudge Player of the Game. Hit us up on Twitter who you think should be the Nudge Player of the Game. Sutton, 4:45 remaining in the fourth quarter. Has that ball nearly poked away. Pull up, Jay goes in and out, stays out, and the rebound taken by Monson. And now a foul on Hansen. That's a 16th foul on the Leopards. We'll be shooting free throws the rest of the way.
That's huge. That's huge. Free throws the rest of the way for Olympus with 4.5 minutes left. That could be a big factor, as they're a pretty solid free throw shooting team on the year.
Up the floor now, Lindsay. Jackson set to check in at the next dead ball. 4.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. Lindsay working on spot out. Oh, beautiful pirouette move down the lane. And again, cannot finish at point-blank range.
Wow.
I have done a lot of Jake Lindsay games. I've never seen him struggle this way.
Wow. That was such a great move. Dribble with that left hand, spins back around to the right, has an open layup, and just point-blank misses. I mean, there's nothing really you can say besides he's just off today.
Outside Sutton on the angle. Spotted Elk pulls for 3, and that ball goes in and out. That was online. It looked like it was going to drop.
2 in a row, in and out. Sutton had the one last possession for East as well, and they're just wishing those ones would go down.
Here's Keller. Outside Fox, now up top to Lindsay. I hope he just keeps going. Those things are to start to fall for him. Speaking of Lindsay, 3:45 remaining in the fourth quarter. Works off the screen. Now up top, Lindsay again, drive. Terminates, hanging on a pivot. Kicks out to Fox. Lindsay again. Now to Keller. Keller fire for three. Keller's 2 for 2. He's only put up 2 shots, both 3 balls, both of which have dropped here in the fourth quarter, and it's now a 4-point lead, 35-31.
Exactly. Timeout East, and you wonder why Miles Keller hasn't put up more shots till now. He's 2 for 2 with 2 threes, and Olympus has come back to take a 4-point lead.
3:18 remaining in the fourth. Olympus 35, East 31. Again, want to remind you, at the conclusion of today's game, we're going to select the Nudge Player of the Game. With over 500 employees, Nudge, one of the fastest growing companies in Utah Valley. To learn more about Nudge and their community outreach program, go to www.nudge.com. And every game that we produce is powered by Xfinity Internet. To learn more about Xfinity, its X1 system, and the Xfinity Triple Play, go to www.xfinity.com. And we've got a good one for you. All 30 games will be broadcast here on live.ksl.com and on Deseret News. You can also find abbreviated formats, high school rewind formats, on anytime on Xfinity On Demand. Go to On Demand, Utah On Demand, high school sports, basketball, and go through the folders. We produce 16 games a month, and we're excited to produce all 30 4A and 5A games on Xfinity.
The winner of this game will play the winner of Maple Mountain and Mountain Crest, who plays right after this game, so that'll be interesting.
That's going to be an
for
interesting
those two
game.
Teams. Yeah, the 1 and the 4 game.
Lob inside, the ball poked away and now stolen. On the push now with Lindsay. Lindsay, pull up, off the glass and in.
Just like we talked about a second ago, he finally gets one to fall.
And here they got the steal on the push now with Hanson. Hanson, give it up to Jackson. Jackson cross court Sutton. Thought about 3 and held on. Spotted Elk for 3. And Spotted Elk buries the triple. The Leopards needed that one and cut the deficit in half, 37-34, with 2:40 remaining in the fourth quarter.
And that was Spotted Elk's first points of the second half. And as the leader of this team, he's got to step up in his final minutes, and that's a great way to get it started.
Jake Lindsay terminates out to Fox. Up top now with Cervantes. Keller rotating the corner to Monson. Monson now up top with Jake Lindsay. Coach Barnes saying, hey, keep it moving. Lindsay working on Spotted Elk. Kicks out now Monson. Straight away Cervantes. Now to Fox. Here's Keller. Keller has been the man of the fourth quarter with 2 triples. 2 huge shots. One to tie it at 31. The other one to extend the lead. And now timeout Olympus. They'll take a full timeout. We'll take it with them and catch our breath. 1:59 remaining in the fourth quarter. Titans 37. Leopards 34. It's Olympus basketball with 1:59 remaining in the fourth quarter and a 3-point lead. Remember, Olympus does not have to do anything with the basketball in the last minute 59. They can go to midcourt, put the ball underneath their arm, and force East to come foul them. The only thing you have is a closely guarded 5 seconds. Lindsay. Up top now with Fox. Near side with Keller. Keller nearly loses the handle. Kicks it up top to Cervantes. And Olympus not going to look for a shot. They're going to look to kill this clock.
Minute and a half to play in the game.
This is one of the tough parts of high school basketball. Because inside you're saying competitive nature says you'd rather see something else happen. But it's within the framework of the rules as Jackson withdraws or gives up the foul, and it'll be 1-on-1 free throws for Cervantes. Front end of 1-on-1 for Dominic Cervantes. And he hits.
Cervantes, the 6'4" senior, with his first point of the night, and he looks to make this next one to give Olympus a 5-point lead.
Cervantes got the front end and knocks them both down. Timeout, Coach Barnes. 1:22 remaining in the fourth quarter, and it's a 5-point lead for the Titans, 39-34. Again, I want to remind you, you're watching a high school rewind production for live.ksl.com and DeseretNews.com, and you can find us anytime on Xfinity On Demand. We'll be bringing you all 30 games via stream or post-edit on Xfinity. Dusty Lister and Sam Maxfield with you. Sam, it's been an outstanding game. Been very entertaining. Both teams we mentioned, it's not been long possessions. This is probably the longest possession of the game. A lot of missed shots, but both teams just throwing haymakers all day.
Yeah. Interesting. It's been up and down the court. Olympus trying to push the ball, get East all riled up. East trying to kind of settle into a half court, but it has not been that way. And for Jake Lindsay, the star of Olympus, he has really started to turn it on the last couple minutes after having a sort of dry spell in the middle of the game. And East has the ball down by 5.
Get it in to Sutton. He hands back to Spotted Elk. As you mentioned earlier, only has 3 points in the second half, has 12 points on the game. Spotted Elk. Up top, Sutton. And drop it in to Jackson. Jackson backing his way in. Spin into the lane. And that's a good decision. Put in the hands of your post player and force fouls. You're going to get calls down the stretch.
Exactly.
And it'll be inbound along the baseline. We'll be shooting 1-on-1 free throws from here on out.
Throw it into the big fella. What can go wrong?
Bands got to get it in. That ball tipped up in the air by Keller. Keller tried to save it in. It went out of bounds off of Keller.
Quick hands that time. Very good job of reading the expression of Bands and able to knock it down.
Bands a trigger. Got into Jackson, and Jackson lays it up and in. Got the easy 2. And now they got to look for the turnover and get a foul. Isaac Monson terminates. Into the corner to Miles Keller. Play a little bit defense, and there's a foul on Jackson. That'll be his 4th personal foul. And I'll put Keller at the line to shoot 2. It'll be the first non-3-point points, possibly for Keller anyway. Front end of 1-on-1. And he front rims it. And the rebound is out of bounds. Cervantes tried to save it. He stepped out of bounds. It's Leopard ball with 50.7 seconds remaining, trailing by 3.
Good hustle by Cervantes, but had a foot out of bounds when he got the hand on the ball. Was able to save it, but he was out of bounds first. East ball.
Here we go. 45 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. 3-point deficit. Mad, you're going to find Dacian Spotted Elk. And you don't have to hit the 3. You can get the 2 and then force fouls here. You still have 1-on-1 free throws. Jackson in the corner. Sutton for 3. It goes in and out, and the rebound loose and outclaimed by Cervantes. And Cervantes is fouled. He'll go to the line, and it'll still be 1-on-1 free throws. 27.9 remaining. But Sutton's 3 ball was 3/4 down and comes out.
Exactly, and that would have been his first points of the game as the starting point guard. Man, that would have been a huge shot if he could have got that one to fall.
Got a good look in the corner, but just could not get it to drop. And
now they have 29 seconds to play, down by 3 with Olympus shooting free throws. So we'll see how this one turns out.
Last chance in front of 1-on-1. Cervantes, back rim, rebound taken by Jackson. Another opportunity for the Leopards. Up the floor now with Spotted Elk. Spotted Elk hands off to Bands, and now we got a timeout taken. A wise timeout with 20.7 remaining.
Missed opportunities there for Olympus. Missed the front end of the 1-on-1s on 2 cases in a row, and that could have possibly salted the game. I mean, those are huge missed opportunities, giving East still a chance.
Absolutely, and with 20.7 remaining, I want to remind you can watch this game anytime on the Watch It network on YouTube. You You watch the full broadcast. You also watch this on Xfinity On Demand in high school rewind format, around between 40 to 55 minutes long, and watch just the action. We'll trim out all the stops, all this talking, and everything else. You just go through and watch the game. You can find that anytime on Xfinity On Demand or on the Watch It Network. Now let's go through what we're probably going to see here, Sam. Imagine this ball has to go through Spotted Elk.
Yeah, I think it's got to go through Spotted Elk, the leader as far as scoring and leadership of this team. But, you know, they could throw it in. If they're going to try to go for a quick 2, they could try to throw it into Mark Jackson.
Absolutely. With 20.7 remaining, but remember, it's double bonus, and so you'll lose the opportunity of having of a front-end 1-on-1, and they only have 1 timeout left.
That's correct.
3 timeouts for Olympus, but the possession arrow does belong to East. So this is you're saying, get the 2, get down by 1, you foul him, 2 free throws, say he misses 1, the jump ball, it's still your ball. And a lot of things working your way if you are East.
And I think if they're not going to try to do that, I think it's definitely got to go through the hands of Spotted Elk. On the outside, maybe Bands for a 3, maybe Sutton for 3. I think if you're looking outside, you got to go through Spotted Elk.
Bands will trigger in. Miles Keller on the inbound. Here's Spotted Elk, guarded by Jake Lindsay. Kicks back to Hanson. Cross court, Sutton. Trying to get the screen. There's Spotted Elk off the screen. Couldn't get a clean shot, 12 seconds. Now down to 10. Lob into Jackson. Big fella. Got to know where you are. Got to get it out. And now we have a foul. And Jackson will shoot 2 free throws. But Donnie got lost a little bit there trying to score as the clock's draining down. And it'll be 2 free throws for Mark Jackson.
6.7 seconds. That took a lot of time to get it into the post. They looked like Olympus did a great job of guarding the 3.
Jackson hits the first. Big fella, so calm at the line.
13 on the night for the 7'2 senior Mark Jackson, and 1 more.
Got the first and the second. And now East takes their final timeout with 6.7 seconds remaining, 39-38. Intercept their full court pressure.
I understand wanting to set up the full court pressure, but I mean, you burn your last timeout and you only have 6 seconds left. I mean, say they get a stop right here, or they get a rebound or something, and they only have a certain very small amount of time to get it to the other end of the court to try to win the game.
And that's what I was thinking as well. That one timeout, once he made the bucket, and you had a chance to kind of settle things. You have your team, you get your foul, they're going to shoot free throws, say you get it back, and now you have everything else. You can even inbound to half court, take your timeout, set your play to go for the tie, but now you'll be running it full.
Yeah, this will be a high pressure situation right here. We'll see what happens on this inbound if they're able to set up good enough full court defense. And Olympus will have to get the ball in successfully.
This has been quite the game from the beginning. If you've watched most of this with us, it really hasn't been long possessions or anything else. A lot of missed shots, rebounds, going back down the floor, then another missed shot. And it's really culminated where we are right now, where both teams played pretty evenly today. You got to really hand it to East. I thought Olympus would come in and win this game. I thought not necessarily blowout fashion, but certainly comfortably. But East has played extremely well. They've used Jackson well. Spotted Elk has had his issues in the second half, but Hanson's third quarter really kept in the game. But here we go. 6.7 remaining. Cervantes will inbound, and he gets it into Monson. A quick foul from Spotted Elk, and that'll be his second. And it'll be 2 free throws. And they ran off 2.7 seconds. There's no way that took 2.7 seconds.
Yeah.
They've got to put time back on the clock. That should be about 6 even.
Yeah, just catching the ball and then calling it. Yeah, it looks like that was a mistake right there.
And they're telling them the clock is right. I don't know how that took 2 seconds. There's no way that, okay, they put one back on. But it's still saying that was 2 seconds. And I have a hard time with that. But 5 seconds now on the clock. That was really quick.
Yes. Monson will shoot 2 right here to try to give Olympus a 3-point lead.
Monson at the line and buries the first.
9 points on the night for the 6'7 junior Isaac Monson. And 1 more to try to put Olympus up and force East for a 3.
Got the first and gets the second. Here we go. 5 seconds remaining, inbound to Spotted Elk. Spotted Elk cross midcourt, 2 seconds. 1 second for the tie. Overtime! What a shot by Dacian Spotted Elk! What a shot by Dacian Spotted Elk, and we are heading to OT. Buries it at the buzzer. Goes coast to coast. and the East Leopards force overtime against Olympus.
Wow, he split like 3 guys right there and pulled up on a runner. And that was off 1 foot for 3 at the buzzer, gets it to fall, and we are headed to overtime.
The officials are still conferring. That was clearly out of his hand before the light went off, and he left before the purple line. He leaped before that. So it's not a matter of whether the ball left his hand, is where it starts. That's a 3, and we should be heading to OT as Spotted Elk went coast to coast.
Wow.
Monson buries both free throws. Dacian Spotted Elk goes the other way, hits the 3, and we are heading to OT.
Wow, that was clutch. Dacian Spotted Elk has had a rough second half, but comes back and hits a huge 3 to put it in overtime.
Pandemonium at the T of Ed Center. We got 2 good-sized student sections here, and the East Leopards and their bench went bonkers when that 3-pointer went in. And now all momentum riding with the East Leopards as we head to OT. It'll be Mark Jackson and Isaac Monson jumping to start overtime.
What a game, man. What a great game. East has really stepped up to the challenge. Olympus, a very good team, and they have stepped up to the challenge tonight. We have had a great game.
Jackson wins the tip. And it'll be East with the first possession. Spotted Elk down the lane. Floated up, too strong. Rebound, Cervantes. Down the floor now with Olympus. Jake Lindsay came up the floor telling his team, hey, calm down. We're going to be just fine. And Lindsay off the screen of Cervantes goes right at Jackson. Jackson with the block. No, got him on a foul. And that'll be number 5 on Jackson. And the big fella's gone.
Wow.
Lindsay knew where he was, went right at him, got the call. And Mark Jackson, who has made a big impression in this game, has 14 points. And I have him with 4 blocks. And made his presence known. And then not only that, it was the rebounds on missed free throws down the stretch from Mark Jackson.
Yes, huge blow to the Leopards. Mark Jackson goes out with 14 points and 4 blocks, not to mention all those rebounds you talked about. Just a very tough loss here in overtime for East.
Lindsay hits the first. He has split his first 2 trips to the line, but he knocks down that one. Jake Lindsay now with 15 points on the morning. Got the first, and the second rolls off, and it's rebound to Cervantes. And that's where losing Mark Jackson really hurts East.
Yes, Cervantes, great hustle play on and gets the offensive rebound. Just kind of sneaks around the guys and grabs it, corrals the board for Olympus.
Lindsay working on Spotted Elk, pirouette away from him. Off the glass, can't get it to go, and a rebound to Benz. That's really been the story of today for Jake Lindsay, getting to the rim and unable to finish. Been a tough day to watch him that way because this kid is a spectacular basketball talent within the state of Utah.
He has 15 points, but I mean he could have 30 points by how many opportunities he's got right at the rim.
Spotted Elk holds up top, kicks across. And now Hansen, give it back to Spotted Elk, guarded by Keller. Up top, Sutton. Now give it up to Bands. Hurlbert. Again, Sutton on the angle, back to Hansen. Long possession here from East. Missing their big fellow in the middle, and Mark Jackson, 7-footer, fouled out.
Yeah, no post presence. And then they're just trying to work everything from the outside. It's really tough to do when you don't have that solid post play from Mark Jackson.
Lob inside. Spotted Elk lay it up and in. Moved the ball around, took their time, and Spotted Elk lays it up and in. On the other end, it goes in and out. And again, there's trouble around the rim for Olympus. You'd hate to see that cost of a game, but they've got to finish.
Yeah, and they will get the ball back and went off the leg of Ryan Hurlbert. And Lindsay, another great take, just another miss.
Miles Keller hands back to Lindsay. Spotted Elk with him. The 2 stars of this ball game. And it's a 1-point lead for East. 1:50 remaining here in overtime. Lindsay in the lane, kicks out to Fox. Again on the drive. Lindsay, and he's fouled before the shot. It'll be 1-1. No, pardon me. It'll be double bonus. So 2 free throws coming away of Jake Lindsay.
That's a great matchup to see. Spotted Elk and Lindsay going at it head-to-head, trying to get their team into the next round. That's where champions are made, man.
Lindsay at the line, 2 free throws. He's split every trip at the line tonight, or this morning. Got to keep remembering that. He is the first. This was a 9:30 a.m. tip.
First game out of 7 more today.
Got the first and rolls them both in. Lindsay was 17. Up the floor now with Spotted Elk and East trailing by 1. It was a long possession on their last possession, which resulted in a Spotted Elk layup. As we'll see, a similar set. Here's Sutton. Looking into Hurlburt. Now comes up top to Bands. On the angle with Hanson in the corner to Spotted Elk. Spotted Elk in the lane. Pump fake goes around. Left hand off the glass, and it crawls off. Thought it was going to be a +1, but it'll be Spotted Elk going to the line for 2 free throws. The foul goes on Fox, I believe.
Nice turnaround move. Dacian Spotted Elk attacks the defense, is able to turn around and nearly finish with the left hand, go to the line to shoot 2.
Spotted Elk, back rim the first. Frustrated. Luckily, he didn't get a technical free throw there. The official, I think, knew what he was doing, but he fired that ball at him. Missed the first, has got one more, looking to tie. And rattles home the second. All tied up at 44. This is a situation a lot of times you see a team try to whittle this clock down, 1:10 remaining for the final shot in these situations. Here's Lindsay. He'll stay on the attack. Lindsay can't get the finish off the glass. Cervantes kept it alive, tracked down by Monson. Needs to find Miles Keller. He's got the hot hand, and he's made big shots in this second half for Olympus. But here's Lindsay, going to attack again. Inside Cervantes. Cervantes trying to get it out to Keller. The ball's loose now to Keller. Monson for 3. Off the front of the iron, and the rebound taken by Sutton. 40 seconds remaining here in overtime. Up the floor now with Spotted Elk.
Tie ball game here. Here it comes. Buckle your seatbelts. It's going down.
And timeout. We have an official's timeout, as it looks like Hanson's cramping up.
Looks like he's holding his left leg.
So it'll be timeout East. And they're going to try to work this out. Full timeout. We're going to take it with them, try to collect our thoughts and our breath. 33.1 remaining in overtime. We're all tied up at 44 with Olympus and East. You're watching High School Rewind's coverage of the 2015 Boys State Championship Basketball Tournament. .33 seconds remaining here in overtime. Imagine East can take the last 30 seconds to get their final shot. And imagine that's going through Dacian and Spotted Elk, who hit the 3 to force overtime as time expired. Here's Bands now up top of Spotted Elk to Hanson. They're probably going to take this all the way down. Here's 15 seconds. Sutton, give it up to Spotted Elk. Now Bands, 10 seconds. Hurlburt, give it up to Hanson. 7 seconds.
Now
down to 5. Got to get a shot up. Here's Sutton. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Sutton for the win. And it goes off, and we're heading to double overtime. 4.5 quarters wouldn't do it. We're heading to another. We're going to take a quick break as we head to double overtime. Olympus 44, East 44. You're watching the 2015 4A State Championship Basketball Tournament, brought to you by High School Rewind. Want to welcome over 1,000 of our closest friends who are watching us on the Watch It Network through live.ksl.com. Heading to double overtime. It'll be Spotted Elk and Monson to jump it up here in double OT, and it'll be Leopard Ball. Dusty Litzner and Sam Maxfield with you here at the D Event Center, and what a ball game. Not the highest scoring game. It has been tense. It has been close the entire time. Spotted Elk 4-3. That's off the mark, and a rebound taken by Jake Lindsay. Lindsay now on the push. Lindsay to the rack, off the window, again wouldn't go, gets his own board, goes up and is fouled. And Jake Lindsay will go to the line to shoot two.
He's got to be incredibly frustrated that most of those shots have not dropped today. He's had so many looks on the inside, and we've said it so many times, but it's hard to get around the fact that they're just not falling.
Lindsay gets the first.
18 on the night for Jake Lindsay. The 6'4 senior has signed with Baylor to play basketball.
Got the first and hits the second. Lindsay now with 18 points, 19. 3.5 remaining in double overtime and 2-point lead for the Titans. Largest lead of the game has been 6 by both teams. Here's Bands into the corner to Sutton, whose looked like it was going to drop at the edge of the first overtime. That ball looked good.
It did.
Here's Bands. Drop it in now. Spotted Elk working on Jake Lindsay. Spotted Elk parallel to the lane. Kicks up top. Hurlburt gives it back to Spotted Elk. Lindsay still on him, playing man-to-man. Spotted Elk goes to the base, and he'll reverse out. Again, Mark Jackson, the big fellow, 7'2" senior, fouled out in the overtime. Had 15 points and 4 blocks. He was playing outstanding, and another rebounds as well. That ball picked off by Fox. Got the entry pass on all the push with Miles Keller. Keller reverses out, gets the ball in the hands of Jake Lindsay with 2:35 now remaining. Lindsay in the lane, send out to Fox for 3, and that's off the front of the iron. Off the leg of Hansen, and Fox will give chase, and it'll be Olympus ball. Ball bouncing the way of the Titans.
Good look for Fox that time, just wasn't able to convert.
Lindsay working on Hansen. Goes to the lane once again. Cervantes with the offensive board.
Another offensive rebound for Cervantes. He had a couple huge ones in that last overtime as East with a reach-in foul. Ticky-tack foul call on Dacian Spotted Elk.
It looked like he gave it up, though. He ran by and hit him on the chest. It was an interesting moment. He immediately looked to the bench, and Coach East would kind of put his hands up, like, what were you thinking? And I think they called the foul on number 3 instead of Dacian Spotted Elk, which if you hear a whistle and you're anybody but him, I put my hand in the air. That's the old NBA thing. Put your hand in the air. Hey, put it on me. I'll pick up his tab.
Exactly.
Hansen will go to the bench as Fox hit the first free throw. 47-44, 2:10 remaining in double overtime. And Fox buries them both. 4-point lead.
7 points on the night now for Nate Fox, the 6-foot junior, and he gives Olympus a 4-point lead, 48-44 with 2 minutes to play in the ball game.
Spotted Elk hands off to Sutton. Sutton hands back to Spotted Elk, 1:50 remaining. Right now has the play of the tournament with that buzzer-beating 3 at the end of regulation. Down the lane, send out, 3 on the way, off the mark, and a rebound taken. And then we have a foul on the board on that missed 3 by Bierman, and that's against Olympus on the rebound. Got it on Monson, and it'll be inbound along the baseline.
Blake Hansen will check in the game. He came out earlier with cramps to his left leg, so it's good to see that Mr. Third Quarter is back in the ball game. He had 9 points in that third quarter, not to mention the defense and energy.
And really, it's the third quarter, we thought that Olympus might pull away in this ball game. And on Monson, that's his second personal. Hurlburt hits the front end of 1-on-1. They needed that one.
Huge free throw right there. Olympus up 3 now with a minute and a half to play.
It's 19 fouls on Olympus. Will be double bonus rest of the way. Hurlburt hit the first. Back rims his second. Rebound cleared by Jake Lindsay. Can push it back up to a 2-possession game with the score. 1.5 remaining here in double overtime. Coach Barnes saying cycle through. They want to eat this up and force East to foul. Fox working on Bands and kicks it out to Cervantes. Thought Hurlburt was going to get his hand on that ball. Hanson out with Lindsay. Now down to minute 5. Lindsay going to work one-on-one on Hanson. Hanson has 4 personal fouls, doesn't want to give up that 5th, which I can understand. So you might want to switch out and get someone with less fouls on him.
Under 1 minute, you got to think about fouling right here.
For Bands or Hurlburt, somebody needs to come over and try to help out Hanson. Into the corner to Monson. Nice ball movement from Olympus. And now finally the foul on Hurlburt. That'll be his 4th personal foul. And I don't mind him taking that down. It's going to be 2 possessions. You'll need a lot of time anyway. Try to hope to force a skip pass and a turnover. It'll be Isaac Monson at the line. First free throw is good. Monson has been solid from the free throw stripe today. 11 points on the morning for Monson. Hit the first, gets the second. And now timeout taken by Olympus, a full timeout. We're going to take it with them. 47.2 remaining in double overtime. Olympus 50, East 45. Out of the timeout, Olympus going to sit back with his 5-point lead on defense. Not going to force it. Up the floor now with Spotted Elk and the Leopards. Got to move quickly. Into the corner, Sutton. Sutton will pull up for the long range 2. Back rimmed. Rebound to Jake Lindsay. Lindsay will send it ahead to Keller, and Keller will put the nail in the coffin. Lays it up and in. A 7-point lead, 52-45. Spotted Elk fouled on the 3. That changes things a little bit if he goes to the line and knocks down all 3 of these.
Yeah. Didn't look like there was a ton of contact that time, but Jake Lindsay went up with him, got a hand on the ball, and they called a foul. And Spotted Elk will go to the line to shoot 3 free throws.
So Spotted Elk at the line, the first of 3. Buries the first. Gives him 19 on the morning. It's the second, and the ever-important third to make it a 4-point game again. Hit the first 2. Front rim's the third, and a rebound to Keller in the hands of Jake Lindsay, and he's fouled by Sutton. It'll be 2 free throws for Jake Lindsay.
Lindsay can knock down these free throws, and Olympus can hang on. They have a pretty solid chance of holding on to this game.
And the first good from Lindsay.
20 points on the night for the 6'4" senior Jake Lindsay, and 1 more to go.
Been an up and down morning for Lindsay. Knocks down both free throws, but on a day where he didn't play his best, his Olympus Titans look like they're going to move on to the second round as Spotted Elk goes down the lane, lays it up and in. And timeout East. Again, I want to remind you to follow us on Twitter at HS Rewind, as we'll be tweeting out our top 5 plays from today's action. This is the first game of 8. We tweeted out yesterday's 5A first round action. Go check that out on Twitter. Again, follow us at HS Rewind. Certainly going to see the Spotted Elk play. I don't want to give away the number 1 already. We'll let Vince Francis, who makes those executive decisions, handle that for us. But that was certainly the moment thus far of the tournament.
Yeah.
But Sam, your thoughts of this game? This has been a fun one.
It's been a very fun game, tight game throughout, and I think it really hurt East to lose Mark Jackson. The big center fouled out right at the beginning of the first overtime, and they've had a tough time on the interior since. Mark finished with 15 points, 4 blocks, not to mention all the rebounds he had. He's 7'2", so he really alters a lot of shots on the inside for Olympus. And right now, you got a 5-point lead with only 13 seconds left. This will be a Reggie Miller-esque comeback. It would have to be for the East Leopards.
I was 9 when that happened. You weren't even born.
Oh, I've seen videos of that. any basketball fan is. Reggie Miller is one of the all-time greats.
Cervantes to inbound, gets it into Lindsay. And Lindsay will bring up the sideline ahead to Keller, and Keller will lay it up and in. And the clock will continue to run down. 5 seconds. Spotted Elk. Could he hit another buzzer beater? And it's back rimmed, and that'll do it. What a ball game. Olympus survives the scare from East in double overtime. The Titans 56, East 49. Congratulations to the Olympus Titans moving on to the second round. And to East, what a terrific first round game from the Leopards. But 56-49 our final score to the Olympus Titans. Sam, your final thoughts.
Great game. Jake Lindsay missed some shots, obviously the star of Olympus, but he was able to come back and lead this team with help of Monson and some other guys in Olympus. Just a very solid performance in the final stretch.
Awesome. Thanks, Sam. Again, our final score, Olympus 56, East 49, double overtime. Stay tuned for our post-game wrap-up and our Nudge Player of the Game selection. And welcome back to the Event Center. Again, our final score, the Olympus Titans 56 and the East Leopards 49. A big win in double overtime for Olympus. And what a game for both these teams. And really, it was one of those games where Jake Lindsay, who one of the better players in the state, we mentioned over and over again throughout the broadcast, not to belabor it, did not have his best day and missed a lot of point-blank shots, but able to continue to push through and help his Titans get a win. And what a finish to this game is Dacian Spotted Elk hit the 3 at the buzzer at the end of the fourth quarter, the forced overtime, when everything seemed to go right for Olympus to get away from the scary game from East, who came out and played extremely well. And Olympus, who did not play their best game, able to get away. Seemed like they were going to get away with hitting free throws with just moments left in this game with 5 seconds. Spotted Elk kissed that 3 and in overtime. Thought they'd solve it away. Had to come back to his forced double overtime. And then the pull away in double OT after Mark Jackson fouled out. And things happened well for Olympus. But to move on to the second round is quite the accomplishment the way this game was going for Coach Barnes and his Titans to get big wins and you don't play your best game. For East, there's nothing else to say. Spotted Elk played really, really well. Thought Mark Jackson showed himself extremely well. 15 points, 4 blocks on the morning. You also had Hanson with his outstanding performance in the third quarter. A lot of things to be proud of if you're the East Leopards. Come up a little bit short, but it's one of those games where they'll always remember it. It'll always be one of those top moments, but they have everything to be proud of in the way they played this morning. Our Nudge Player of the Game is going to go to Jake Lindsay. A lot of times when you're not playing well, you have to keep going at it, and that's exactly what Jake did. It was not his best day, but he kept driving the lane, kept leading his team, and eventually led him to a big win, 56-49. Again, our final score, Olympus moving on. They'll play a second-round game against the winner of Mountain Crest and Maple Mountain, and that'll come up on Thursday. But again, our final score, Olympus 56, East 49 in double overtime. And our Nudge player of the game, Jake Lindsay, and Nudge with over 500 employees, one of the fastest growing companies in Utah Valley. To learn more about Nudge and their community outreach programs, go to www.nudge.com. And again, I want to thank you for joining us. And for Vince Francis, Thompson Coles, Sam Maxfield, I'm Dusty Litzer. Thanks for joining us and watching High School Rewind's coverage of the 2015 4A Boys State Championship Basketball Tournament on live.ksl.com, on DeseretNews.com, and anytime on Xfinity On Demand.